Hi everybody, welcome to episode
16? I knew you were going to forget.
episode 16 of Where's My Blanket podcast.
This was a disaster opening. Holy. Can we restart? No.
My name is David.
My name is Gunter.
And this is Brown.
Hi, Brown.
Who's joining us today.
For you guys on Spotify or audio only, we have a new Brown. Actually, it's not really new. He's been with us for a long time. But David was just very attached to the character Brown. So
he's the cutest bear.
Making a showing.
Yes, he's listening to our podcast too.
Yeah. David has basically said that this Brown plushie is more important than plants. Because if you've noticed in the past episodes, he's been displaying some of his plants, but he's forgone because, you just think that Brown is more important than advertising your plants.
No.
Clearly money doesn't matter to you.
I was just holding him and he looked like he wanted to join.
Mm-hmm. But for this episode, good news for everybody, I guess, kind of. The economy is kind of opening back up. People are starting to going back to work, etc.
Stage 3 is coming soon for Ontario too.
Yeah,
apparently.
my barber is already open, and I'm gonna go get a haircut from them. I mean, I already got a haircut, but when my next one will be with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people are still not comfortable with going back to everything, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, even, I wouldn't be either until they have a vaccine. I mean, technically, it isn't safe because at any time, a second wave can happen, right?
Yeah.
If people aren't responsible. So, while, I mean, it should be said. I mean, if you're responsible, you should know that even if the economy is opening back up, it doesn't mean that you can be reckless, right? But I'm sure people know that, unless you're Americans or you want to fuck your cousin or you vote Trump. You know, any of these three reasons would mean that you're probably not the sharpest tool in the shed. And you might need to be told that just because the economy is opening up doesn't mean that you should be stupid. But then, who listens to me anyways?
Well, not those people.
Not those people. Anyways, so for today's episode, because the economy is opening back up, David and I thought it would be fun to talk about vacation spots because
might still be a bit early for travel, but
we can dream.
Yeah,
I think that's the point of this one.
So you know what I heard? Actually, just yesterday though, one of my colleagues already booked a trip for December. Yeah. So
I can see that happening.
Yeah, but then I see some of the comments, not blaming him, but they were like, "Oh, really? I was just thinking about canceling mine."
Oh,
yeah, things like that. So
well, I mean, similar. Before a vaccine comes out, it's really hard to predict how the state of the world will be. Right, we're opening it as much as we can, but. I don't know. I guess it is kind of I don't know. People can be optimistic, right? I know a lot of us, including myself, including us, right? We have our travel plans delayed or canceled because of this, and so everybody's dreaming of going on vacation and things like that. So we're gonna talk about vacations. Yeah. And with that, we can begin with let's talk about our best vacations so far, right?
Okay.
We want to do top 2 or top 3. I don't know if you've been on 3 vacations yet because you're a music teacher. Probably doesn't make that much money. Can't travel that much.
That's really
offensive.
Sad, but not the case. I mean, I've traveled my fair share.
Wow, good for you.
Haven't been to a lot of Asian countries actually. Weirdly to say, but. Yeah, I've been to quite a few European countries. US.
You want to do top 2 or top 3 then?
Oh, I don't know. Top 3.
3? Okay. You want to go first? Or no, you do.
It's specific, country or specific spot. City.
Top 3 vacations you've been on, whatever that means, right? For me, hard. I guess I have top 2. And I mean, I can just go with. I'll start with the first one if you want me to, just to get the conversation rolling.
Sure. Okay, you go.
So, I know, like, so for me, I'm sure with most people as well, there's two different types of vacations, right? Or two different categories. One is the very relaxing type. You put your feet up and you have drinks up by the bar and just chill. And the other one is, you go to a different culture, right? Like immerse yourself in a different, and then it's a learning experience, right?
Right.
You live day to day differently, things like that.
Yeah.
And so having said those two, I would say I'm the former. So I really like to put my feet up and do that. And
relaxing.
Yeah, and our most recent trip, we went to Cancun for my brother's wedding. And it wasn't the first time that I went to an all-inclusive because I went to Cuba with some friends prior. And they were both fun, but I think it's because of this one. It was a destination wedding, and it had a bit more glamour to it. Yeah, splash to it. I don't know, and there was just so many people, right? Because of the destination wedding, there was 20 people that was like in our age group, so we could have mingled with a lot of different people.
Yeah,
when I got sick of you, I would flirt with other people. Yeah, it was very fun, but. Yeah,
so fun.
I really like that aspect of putting your feet up, not doing anything. Poolside bars are amazing. Poolside bars, I really love the feeling of
I
you're in a
enjoyed
pool,
so much of that.
and then you just dive, put your head up. Hey, can I get a, I don't know, whiskey sour? Hey, thanks, mate. And then I don't know.
Thanks, mate. Are you in Australia?
Actually, well, the good thing about being on vacation is you can be whoever you want, right? And
you definitely didn't pretend you were Australian.
I know. Sometimes you control people. Like if you want to just I don't know, I want to be Australian tonight, mate, right? Or
I can pretend to be British. Yeah.
Let's hear a British accent.
I can't do it on camera.
Then why would you say it?
I can do it, but anyway.
Okay, well, David's a letdown. Let's never put him on the spot again.
I can do Chinese accent.
Wow, that was so racist. You have no idea. Anyways.
That's just how I talk.
All right, sorry guys, we're back after some technical difficulties, but that's okay.
My phone blew up.
Yeah, don't buy OnePlus. They're so shit. That was a joke. OnePlus is actually amazing, and that's my next phone to get. So, side note, I know we're talking about vacations, but OnePlus is great.
Oh, did you hear that they just came out with a cheaper phone, and that's also very powerful.
Under the OnePlus brand.
Yeah, OnePlus N or something.
I'll check it out. I mean, I don't need to. I mean, my phone is great now. But
No, but they're coming out with a sideline.
Yeah. Anyways, what's your number one vacation spot?
Me, number one?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going one, 2, 2, 3. I mean, I kind of want to say Cancun too.
Just because you're just following me everywhere.
Yeah, right. No, but that's probably because it's the freshest in my mind, and also because it was truly really relaxing. But I do like vacations where I get to see more stuff too, right? Their culture.
Yeah.
Not necessarily museums, I know you're not a fan of museum, and I honestly am not either, but
I can't, I don't know why, I can appreciate art. As I say that, I'm gonna shit on museums, but I just don't, I'm paying money to... I
think it depends on what kind of museum it is, right? If it's just a museum that's talking about history, then
what's the point? Yeah.
If it's a special feature, and that has something that we've never seen before.
That's true.
Then maybe.
That's why I think ROM does such a good job.
I would go to ROM every now and then just to check out their specials.
Yeah. So for you guys who don't know,
ROM
is the Royal Ontario Museum. It's our museum in Ontario, and they have special exhibits. It's not just a random. It's not just a one-time thing. So there was a time where it was about, they had an exhibit on tarantulas, and then one time it was Egypt, right?
And so they had the terracotta army.
Yeah, so they rotate their things, their exhibits around, which I think is very fascinating, and obviously it's a good way to generate revenue. So they do a good job.
Yeah. Anyway, but back to the vacation.
Vacays.
I don't know if I have to pick one that's different from you.
Do you have a genuine thought or an original thought for once in your life?
I think it would be Europe then, because
Also very specific.
Well, okay, if I have to pick out
I'm just gonna shit on you this whole podcast.
a country, you have to give me a second. No, I mean, like, you know how much I love Vienna, right? And I've been there like 3 times. And yeah, every time, like, I think that's one of those places that I genuinely think I can live there. That kind of thing, right? Yeah, I know right now though, like, sadly, some people are not traveling to Europe, especially Asians, because the fear of getting discriminated in those countries. But from what I remember, Vienna had quite a bit of Asian population, and also I think the people there were pretty friendly and like, what's that word, like,
civil?
Yeah.
Well, when we went to Vienna together versus Prague together, I felt like I feel like Vienna as a city is much more like updated and modern in terms of technology. So I guess like the people that live there also seem, I don't know, right? I didn't really talk to people day to day, but they seem more like understanding, right? Whereas Prague is a very old nature town, right? There was very little technology in Prague, like no Wi-Fi anywhere and things like that.
Yeah.
So
it's also, I mean, it's still one of my favorites too.
No, I understand.
Just because of the culture and like beautiful sceneries, but
I understand, but as it relates to Asians and like discrimination, and like I would think that if you have to choose between two, like let's just compare the danger of the two, because Prague is a bit more like olden style. They might have a bit more discrimination, right?
Yes.
Whereas Vienna might be a bit more tolerant. I think that's also the word you're looking for, but I just said civil because I couldn't think of the word tolerant.
Tolerant? No, I think civil and like understanding, and like.
Actually, what is there to tolerate? We're not being. We're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, so I don't think it's tolerance.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so I can appreciate your.
I mean, also the music helps, right? Like people that do appreciate music, they don't like. They're not too. Like effed in the head.
That's true. Actually, I know this is like a little side note, but I wouldn't mind moving to Vienna too. Like if we somehow had jobs that were like more online or a bit more able to relocate. It's not out of the realm for me. Like I can
airplanes blow up in Europe.
In Europe, you never know. But we could maybe one day move to Vienna, which is probably cool.
Yeah.
So
that's I think that's probably one of my favorite trips. Just like it's like a dream come true to be there.
My number 2 now.
Sure.
So I know everybody's expecting me to say Japan because Japan is like and I love Japan so much.
Surprised you didn't say that in your first.
But Japan is actually not my second, and people might be surprised when I say this, but it's.
I think I know which one.
Which one?
China.
No. Oh, China. I completely forgot about Winnie the Pooh. 1 second. Let me rethink this. I was going to say Arizona, U.S.
Oh.
Because...
That is surprising.
So I went... Now, this is going to be a little bougie of me, so I apologize for people who just going to just roll their eyes at me. But when I went to Arizona with my family, we stayed in a very nice hotel. And it wasn't a hotel, sorry. It was a resort, right?
Oh, okay.
And so it was like one of those like valley resorts. Like we drove the golf cart around to right? And it was very...
You told me that term when we were in Florence.
Yeah. And, I guess that whole experience, maybe because it was the bouginess of the hotel, which I won't name because, maybe that's what made the experience for me. And maybe if we went to Arizona now... and we stayed at like a lesser hotel and we did a bit more economical stuff, it might be a very
different experience.
Yeah, very much different, right? So I can't say.
But did you guys travel? It was just to travel there, or like
so we went
specific?
To. No. So I think my parents just wanted to go to Arizona. They're just like, Arizona looks fun, right? We went to Arizona and Florence. No, is it Florence? No. I forget.
I thought that was the first time we've been to Florence.
No, shit. What's that place called? I forget. Anyways.
In the States?
Yeah. Rhode Island.
Oh.
Is that it? I don't know. Fuck. I got a C- in geography, guys.
Puerto Rico?
No. Fuck off. No.
Guam?
Okay, anyways. Let's recap. Arizona is my number 2. Maybe not for the state itself, but just for the bouginess of the hotel that I was in. and the experience that I had. Like the food was fantastic, the stay was fantastic, and I don't talk about it that much because, I mean, if I would talk about it, it just sounds very, what's that word called when you seem very, like, you're flaunting your, how much money I mean, I don't have a lot of money.
Conceited?
No. What's that word called? Fuck. I'm losing all my vocabulary today, guys. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just sound like an asshole if I just talk about, like, oh, look at all this experience I went to, right? So that's why I don't really talk about that.
Well, I mean, like, if that's part of it, right? I mean, it's part of the reason that it was so enjoyable, then I don't think it's bad for you to mention it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I also, well, I mean,
as long as that's not the only source of joy.
No, it's not. Well, so another one was we went on a hot air balloon ride in Arizona.
You did?
Yeah. You have no idea how scared I was.
I think you would have died.
I was crazy scared.
That sounds like death for you.
What they don't tell you when you're in a hot air balloon is that the soot from the fire will get on your clothes.
Oh.
So we're in a hot air balloon and I'm scared shitless, right? So my mom is hugging me and she's like, "Don't be scared. Just look out at the sky. Like, look how small we are as humans, right? Like big picture perspective, right? Look how small we are as humans. Like, it doesn't matter. Enjoy life, etc."
How old were you? Younger?
Yeah, that's my mom. Next time you see her, just ask her when we went to Arizona. I don't remember. But not that young. 20-ish? No. 20-ish? 19? 18?
Why did you go if you knew you were going to be scared?
I mean, the whole family was freaking going. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, I'm not going to go on this hard... Like, what? Like, no, that's stupid. But I felt bad for my mom.
For those that don't know, he's very scared of
deathly
heights.
afraid of heights. But I felt really bad for my mom because she was wearing a white sweater that she recently just bought. And I actually really liked that sweater. Like, I was a huge fan of that sweater.
Got burned.
No, like, it looked nice on her, right? Like, I think it really matched her style. She recently bought it, and when she wore it to the hot air balloon, the black soot got on it, and basically it's not washable, right? It just stained. And then, so it was kind of a waste of that shirt, which, and so I guess that's also a memory that's imprinted in my head, because it's like, oh, it's for such a great experience, such a tragedy that, not tragedy, but like, I'm sure my mom doesn't...
Such a shame.
I'm sure my mom doesn't even remember it, right? Because to her, it's just a sweater, right? But for me, it's like, oh, it's a nice sweater, and I thought you looked good in it, etc.
Right, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Arizona is...
That's something I want to do one day too, but I guess not with you.
No, you can do it by yourself. It's okay.
I'll bring Brown.
Wow. Hi. Where's your number 2?
Oh, number 2. I guess, I mean, like, I've had so much great time in Taiwan, but it's weird to talk about it as my, favorite travel.
Honestly, I've had a lot of good experience in Asian countries like Taiwan, China. I know I haven't mentioned them yet, but they are very fun. But they're just not like, and they're memorable. They're fun, but they just aren't as good experience, not as amazing as these ones that I've listed so far.
Well, I'm gonna cheat and put 2 in my second place.
You better have a good third then, or you better have a third too then, or else what's the point? Okay, we'll say it. Anyways, you guys will say it.
Well, I think it's for very different reasons, right? Like for Taiwan, it's just because I get to see all my old friends and my family that I don't.
Does that count as vacation? I guess it does. Like if you go back home into your home country,
it's still a vacation. I don't do anything. I don't work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and just go back to all those food stands that
night markets.
Yeah,
those were so good.
Go to 7-Eleven for the aircon and like every meal. You can live in 7-Elevens there. And go back to my favorite spots like Jiufen and Danshui. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna talk about like hooker spots.
Yeah, I know where those are. Anyways,
you probably do. You just don't mention it.
I was 14 when I left that country. Okay, so I've never even been to a concert.
Did you not have a boner when you were 14? Like you must have, right?
All right, that's not related to this. topic.
Okay, so is Taiwan one of your number twos?
Yes.
Okay, what's your other one then? Because we just talked.
Yeah, so I would put Cancun pretty high. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it here.
Oh, put Cancun and Taiwan.
Yeah, but like for very different
reasons. I understand.
Yeah, so Cancun was just because it was so worry free and everything's provided for, I guess. And it's also somewhere that I've never been. So I got to enjoy the sun while everyone else back home was like
freezing. It was freezing. Like negative 20 or something.
Like it just started to get really cold.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny feeling, and sending those like sunny pictures to them.
Between Taiwan and Cancun, I know I said Cancun was my number one. I really like Taiwan, but it's like when I think of Taiwan, I think of like you have to plan all your day to day, right? Today we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that. Like night market here, this one, right? And because of that planning, I feel like it would get stressful for me, right? Which is probably the reason why I haven't listed Japan yet either. Because Japan,
well, that's what I mean, right? It's a very different type of travel.
Yeah.
So it's totally different feeling. I think I enjoy both of them. So for a trip like Taiwan or Japan, those are, or even Europe, right? Like those are gonna be more tiring, but you get to enjoy, different food and like get to see things that you've never seen before. Yeah, more adventurous, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say Cancun was adventurous. We literally stayed in like a
unless you went in those excursions.
Excursion, yeah, but we didn't.
Yeah, well, we had to go.
Yeah, we didn't have much time there, but we just kind of chilled at the beach and,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a nice one. So do we have a top 3?
I have a number 3, which is obviously, well, I mean, not obviously. You
Japan?
guys know. Yes. So Japan would be number 3. And I'm just going to do a quick tidbit on Japan for those who haven't been there or just want to know my take. Japan is the best Asian country in the world, hands down, no questions asked. The reason is everything, like, okay, Japan as a country, as some of you may or may not know, they only export things that they don't think is like to their standards. Right? Like, so when you buy things here in Canada or anywhere else in the world that's from Japan, that's because they export their like lesser quality stuff because they keep everything internally that's like up to standard because they want to promote tourism. So when you go to Japan, it's a totally different experience. Do you think you've had uni before? You think you've had sashimi before? No. Okay? Just one quick night, I went to Japan, obviously, I don't know why I keep saying that. It was nighttime. We went to a random sushi belt conveyor restaurant that I found on Google. I just like, this has like high rating, like high reviews, high rating, right? We'll just try it. And obviously it wasn't like a Michelin star place or anything because we didn't book it. It was just like a walk-in place.
Okay.
But even those, I ate like a king. Like I still remember the taste of that like barbecue eel in my mouth. It's that good. And it cost me $40 Canadian. Right? Which some of you might think is a lot. However, well, $40 is a lot, I understand. If you eat a Japanese meal here in Toronto, subpar and way below standard compared to Japan is like 50, 60. I'm paying like 1.5 times the price for like shittier sushi. What's the point? Right? So in a sense there, which is also why it's my number 3, it's like a really double-edged sword. Once you go to Japan and you come back, I promise you will not want to eat sushi here again because it's always just so disappointing.
Yeah, he has that problem.
Yeah, it's
on
just
the daily.
Because I eat sushi every day. But yeah, it's so hard to replicate.
Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't go. I'm just kidding. I'll just go there for the pocky.
Well, I'm thankful for the experience, right? Like no matter what, like let's say, like I think about this. Let's say if pandemic happened, not like I don't know. The world continues to go to shit and we never travel again, right? I'm thankful that I at least went to Japan once and I had that memory, right? It would be worse if I thought, I really want, right? Because I think one of my friends told me, well, I mean, it was just like something in passing, but she's like, oh, you know, when you die, you don't take your money with you, right? And so I don't know what, that was probably something that was said in passing to me, but it's very, I don't know, it resonated a lot. So that's why I know a lot of people my age as well, like they prefer to save their money and you know, save for retirement. I understand that, don't get me wrong, but I prefer, I mean, it's not like I'm reckless with my money, but I just prefer that if I can afford it, I'd rather
have these experiences
than wait till I'm 50. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen in 5-10 years or whatever.
Yes.
Do what you want to do now.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just me.
Well, responsibly.
Responsibly, of course. I mean, I'm still saying that's why. Like, I'm not
yeah.
Anyways, what's your number 3?
It's a hard one too, but I think the recent sorry, a motorbike just passed by. I think Alaska was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, you did you go to Iceland as well, or was it just Alaska?
It was Yukon and Alaska because they're side by side.
That also sounds fun. That is like an entirely new experience that I've never done.
Yeah, it's totally different, and because the person that brought us, it's like a family friend, and like she really knows her stuff. Like she would do homework and like make a whole booklet of travel plan.
That's what I'm scared of though. Like, so if you like to put into context, when David came over, he had like a binder of itinerary for his Alaska trip. Yeah. And I thought this was very intense because like the worst thing, even for me, the worst thing is if you plan something, especially you went with a group of 5-6 people, right? Yeah. If things don't go according to plan, what do you sacrifice? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so there's...
Well, she planned those out too, I think.
Wow. Every contingency. Holy.
She had backup plans for some of the places. You know, if this restaurant doesn't work out, where we can eat, things like that. Yeah, so I mean, like, she's really quite genius on that. So I wasn't too worried. But some of the trips that she's planned is quite intense.
I can imagine.
Yeah, in terms of like, what's that? Like strength?
Oh,
what's that word? Energy.
The amount of energy.
Yeah. You need a lot of energy in a day.
Like hiking, like intensive hiking or whatever.
Like 10,000 steps easy a day, right? Yeah, maybe.
That does not sound like a vacation.
Maybe 15.
What is going on?
But that's like, it's more travel, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's more like a travel thing than vacation. Yeah, but like I think the most memorable is still seeing the glaciers. Yeah, because I think that's definitely something that you want to see now, because they are disappearing.
Oh yeah.
And receding, and quickly, right? Yeah.
Very sadly.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like one of the trip I still remember. Like we were at the beginning of the trail, and like pretty much like 2 minutes into the trail, we saw this sign that says this was where the glacier used to be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we were not even close. I can't even see the glacier yet. Oh, wow. Right? Yeah, so we're still like kind of climbing, you know? So that part of the mountain was used to be glacier. Yeah. So we walked like another 20 minutes or so before we finally saw the actual glacier. Yeah, and like they have photos along the way showing like what it looks like back then.
It's a scary thought. I mean,
it's a scary thought. Yeah, but also I mean it's a scary thing, but it's also beautiful. You know, even though it's got back a lot, I mean, it still looks amazing. Yeah, and then we also took the boat to see, where everyone got really sick. That was pretty bad.
Food poisoning?
No. It was the boat.
Oh, the rocking.
It was it was one of those like smaller cruise boat. I don't know. Yeah. So it was like pretty intense shaking.
Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. Cruises. I've only ever been on one cruise.
Yeah. And I think I would enjoy it.
I liked cruises too.
Right now cruises is
obviously right now, yes. But I'm just saying, I should put that on my list somewhere, because I always forget like when I think about vacations, I think about like, put your feet
Trust
up.
me, I want to put most of my vacations here.
Yeah. I always forget about cruises.
Yeah. Well, I think I was gonna put Colorado as my third. Yeah, but then I think this one. You know what?
It's okay.
It's hard. Yeah, Colorado. I also saw some really cool mountain sceneries. That was
We're out
breathtaking.
of time. It's okay. I don't want you to talk anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, you were the one that started.
Yeah. But that was our top 3 for vacations. Hopefully it gives you guys some ideas on if you guys are planning your next trips, things like that.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any vacation suggestions as well, you can hit us up.
There's a lot of places we haven't been to either.
Thanks for cutting me off. I really appreciate it.
You're the one that cut me off, so it's my turn.
You want to do the plug then?
No.
You guys can let us know what your favorite vacation spots are at Where's My Blanket on Instagram. And if you want to see any of our past episodes, www.where'smyblanketpodcast.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening wherever and whenever you are. And see you guys on the next one.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.